party and coalition are actively campaigning for the upcoming election. However, among the election issues, the government's new asylum seeker policy is stirring up political debate. What is a new policy, and why is it so contentious?
Asylum seekers have been coming to Australia by boat since 1976. In the beginning of 2013, more than 13,000 asylum seekers have arrived by boat, with numbers are still increasing.
Anybody who arrived in Australia or arrived in Australian waters, essentially, by boat, would be detained and then potentially sent to an offshore location to be processed. And then if they were successful, they will probably find final settlement in Australia.
However, since the Rudd government signed its refugee settlement deals with Papua New Guinea and Nauru, asylum seekers who arrive by boat can no longer expect to settle in Australia.
The new policy of the Rudd government, which is to detain people and process them either on Manus Island in New Guinea or in Nauru, and have as the outcome for those people settlement either in New Guinea or Nauru or somewhere else but not in Australia, is an attempt to change what the government calls the business model of the people smugglers.
The coalition also outlined its plan for offshore processing on Manus Island and Nauru.
Under Rudd, you can get settled, but never in Australia. Under Abbott, you can never be settled, but you can come to Australia. That is, they would reintroduce the temporary protection visas.
Pro-refugee rallies are being held across major cities of Australia following the government's announcements. Hayley Byrne has volunteered as a teacher in the detention centre on Manus Island.
The conditions are just very, very primitive, is the best way to put it. They're living in tents. The single men were living in tents, and quite a few sort of people to a tent. The tents weren't very big, they're very hot. The youngest child would have been 7, but I was sort of thinking you couldn't really have a younger child there. There would be nowhere to put like a baby, for example. There was no areas for the children to play. There was just like the classrooms and the living spaces.
Groups of university students also feel strongly about the government's decision.
They can't get on a plane because they're not given a visa, so no commercial airline will bring them to Australia, and if they get on a boat, which is what they're doing because it's the only option they have left, they're told that they will never make it to Australia.
At a less practical and more basic level, what we're demanding of the government is to honour their commitments to various human rights conventions.
Regardless of the government's proposal, its hardline policy might cause humanitarian concerns. What is your opinion on this? Is there any alternative solution? Join us for the conversation on our Facebook page or Twitter.